Welcome everyone. This is FDT-TV podcast, where we're going to review the weekend games and also games over Christmas. We had a Boxing Day delight, and then some more games at the weekend, which were just as good.
You don't look happy with that, Ian.
No, I was going to say my Christmas wasn't delightful in terms of West Ham results, but
Mine was fine.
Yeah, I bet it was
delightful, man. What can I say? Giving Leicester a complete surprise drumming was just...
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I will say that. I expected them to put up a bit of a fight and give you a game, but they just, I don't know what happened. They just sort of fell apart.
I think we just turned up and they didn't.
Who knows?
But anyway, I'm wearing black just for mourning for the rest of the league.
Yeah, it was.
Look at him. Listen to it. Never bloody... It's only up until this year and the end of last year that he's emerged from the woodwork.
No.
Oh, my team's so great.
Yeah, no, because it's always been their year. They've just not turned up. They've just next year. We're just waiting for next year. We're just giving everyone time.
It's finally becoming reality.
Well, you don't know yet. Still another 18 games to go, mate.
So if I keep saying this year is West Ham's year, in what 36 years it will be our year. So
potentially, might not be.
Next year is their year.
Next year is your year. Mate.
Under David Moyes.
What, to win the championship?
Europa League play. We ain't going down. Not with Moyes in charge. Can't see it. We've got a good squad, and he will demand some bloody hard work.
That's good. Right, Taps. How do we want to do this? So, do you want to do the Boxing Day games first?
It's your show. You tell us.
Right then, we'll do it that then. And as of this way, I'm going to go... Let's go for some pain first of all. Mike, how was your game? Do you want to give us an introduction?
It was all right.
It was all right.
Next. I'm trying to remember what the Boxing Day game was for us. Was that Palace?
Yes.
That was actually quite a good game for you guys at Palace.
Oh, fucking wasn't.
I'll go. So Bournemouth versus Arsenal, 1-1.
Sure, it weren't Brighton.
Well, God knows. Bradford. It could have been Bradford. So it's Arteta's first game in charge of Arsenal. It was nice to see a very strong lineup with players actually seeming to be playing in the right positions for a change. Mm-hmm. Obviously, where possible due to injuries, with the likes of Saka having to cover in the left-back position because both Kieran Tierney and Kolasinac are currently out. I've got to say, it was a much stronger performance than what we've seen throughout this year that we've seen previously under Unai Emery and Freddie Ljungberg. Looked very strong going forwards, created more chances and more shots than the opposition, which makes a nice change. And we dominated large portions of the game, and there was a lot to be positive about since the change. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were still glimpses of the old Arsenal, which crept into the game from time to time. And we'd, at that point, only had Arteta in charge for, I think, 1 week or just shy of 1 week. So it will take, obviously, a bit of time for his philosophies and all that sort of stuff to bed into the team. We did go behind first. Once again, we looked like we were absolutely dominating the game, and they caught us on counter attack, sloppy defending, and luckily we had our Lord and Saviour Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to bring us back into the game. Some of the standout mentions for that particular game were definitely Aubameyang, Xhaka and Torreira. Aubameyang his work rate was unbelievable again, popped up with a goal. Xhaka and Torreira done really well and kind of dominating the midfield, but from what I've heard on recent news, he's going to be off.
Yeah. Was it Hertha Berlin, is it?
Yeah, which is why he wasn't apparently playing yesterday.
It's a shame.
Then Laka had a good game as well, but was unlucky not to score, and theoretically should have scored to get us the winner. But obviously he's been out fairly recently, not been playing as much, but it's good to see him back into the team as well. So I think building up his confidence, playing again with Alba, hopefully we'll start seeing fire, all those two firing again. excuse me, which would be good.
It's good to see you happy again.
It wasn't a loss. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willing to fight.
Mm. To be honest, I've just from speaking to the small number of Arsenal fans that I know, this season we've all kind of agreed that this season in the league's a complete write-off. I'd be happy if we put together a decent FA Cup run and a decent Europa League run, and if we get into the Champions League from winning Europa League, fantastic. I think it's going to be a bit of a tall stretch, but I mean, you never know. Maybe the changes come at the right time with Arteta, and hopefully go on from there.
Yes, you're only 6 points off, aren't you?
Yeah, so. It's close. But will Aubameyang stay? Will Lacazette stay?
Well, if we get Champions League football, yeah, I think they will. But I think if it's going to be a massive decision for them over the summer if we don't make it, and we're going to be screwed. We're going to have to sell them. We can't afford that sort of money to go from the club. We shall see.
I think they'll both buy into that work ethic that he's got.
Yeah, I think if you can get them on side, they'll stay and they'll be quite valuable for you for next year.
I think if he can convince them that he's going to bring in some good players and you'll get there, they might sign a new contract.
Yeah,
they might buy into him, but who knows?
Well, there was that stuff with his Aubameyang's brother, wasn't there, where he was basically slagging off Arteta, saying, "What are you doing? He's just another Ljungberg." It's like, well, yeah, and we was like, "Hang on a minute, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
you may have your opinions, but you're the brother of our captain of our club, so maybe worth keeping your
gob shut."
Yeah. To put it nicely. I mean, everyone's allowed their opinions. We have our opinions on a weekly basis, but
our brothers don't play. Are not the leading man for the club, are they? It potentially cost him a new contract of $200,000 a week or whatever from saying something stupid.
Right, next on to the next gritty game. So West Ham Palace, very close game. I thought this was.
I thought it was a shit game, to be fair. In fairness, I was live tweeting it. And Snodgrass had an absolute dog of a first half. He couldn't put in a pass. He should have put in a pass to Fornals to score for his first goal. He didn't. It hit the first man. He like every pass he did went astray. He was trying, don't get me wrong, but and at half time I was like, just take him off. It's not his day. And then what a goal he did come up with after a winding run from Antonio, showing great strength. And then once again we were shit. And we shit over hard work. So they did get a goal back, and then the second goal was just diabolical. The first goal was almost a fight between Noble and Ogbonna.
Yeah.
My understanding is Noble misplaced a pass, which yes, he did put in a misplaced pass, one of many few this season. And then Ogbonna didn't put in a tackle, which then led to the goal because we had Stumpy in goal. He did make one save. He come out and punched it from a corner, and oh my god, I closed my eyes and just hope for the best because it was the worst punch ever.
But it was. I can go one better this weekend.
Yeah, you can, but literally that's what I was expecting to happen. That is what I was expecting to happen. It didn't, but then I will admit, Jordan Ayew did four of our players and just slotted it in. Should have been a simple save. It wasn't. He knew if he got a shot on goal, then he would have scored.
Determination. He's strong determination just to work it through then, didn't he?
Yeah, I think generally, I don't think we played poorly. I think we were more consistent throughout the game, but I wouldn't give anyone more than a 6 at best. Like Antonio got a 6. I'd say for the goal, Snodgrass probably got a 6, maybe 5.5 out of 10. But then Pellegrini come along and said, "Oh yeah, that was we played really well there. It was one of our best performances of the year." Yeah, if that's a good performance, that's what you're saying is one of the best performances of the year. Then why are you still here? And that was the point. I thought, oh, they're going to sack him. They didn't, and then we played against Leicester. And I didn't see all the game; I only see bits of it. But we seemed to play reasonably well there. Fornau's got his first goal for us, and then so that we got rid of him after that because we lost that game, didn't we? 2-1. So
yeah, you happy now?
Yeah. Oh, I'm over the moon. But the bit I don't understand, why didn't we do it 2.5 weeks ago? It was on the cards. I think they knew that we were going to lose to Leicester. Palace was, no, we might win that, we might lose that.
Do you think the other teams had anything to do with it? The fact that he was putting himself in for Everton?
Who was? Pellegrini?
No, Moyes.
No, I don't think he would have gone. He would have got the Everton job. Not with Ancelotti there. That's the frustrating thing. Is if we'd done it 2 weeks ago and we put our name in the hat for Ancelotti, I don't know. I think that could have been a tight one. Would have been happy with him. I think a lot of West Ham fans would have been happy with him. A lot of them would have been happy with Eddie Howe. We've gone back to Moyes and everyone's going, he did a shit job last time. We took us from being in relegation to mid-table in 6 months, changed the philosophy of the team, made them work hard, made an Arnautovic into a good player. And then they said, oh, well, we've got Pellegrini here who'd gone to China for his pension. Let's pay him loads. And then we've gone, oh, actually, that was a mistake. We should have stuck with David Moyes.
Do you know what? I think that's so harsh because obviously he was in there before. As you said, did an amazing job to get you guys from where you were to where you finished.
Yep.
And it was just like, thanks very much for your service. We want to go for a bigger name signing off your pop. And now he's coming halfway through a season again and only been given 18 months. I think whilst it is good that the club do get, I suppose, a bit of stability because you've got that 18-month plan, I still don't think that's fair on David.
But the bit that winds me up is seemingly, from what I've heard, is they were trying to wait for Pellegrini to drop West Ham into the relegation zone because his payout would have been halved for sacking him.
Okay.
That's what I understand. That's from what I understand. I don't know how true that is, but it all, from what I know from people who've been up there, it all kicked off Boxing Day. Well, no, against Leicester at the stadium, which is when they sacked him. There was over 100 people waiting for him to come out and were protesting and screaming at him, and so I think at that point they went, "Oh shit!"
They need to take action,
and they sacked him before they left the building.
But it's far too late. Just, to allow your team to slot into a precarious position in the bottom three just to save a bit of money is a joke.
But that's what they're about, isn't it? They bought Birmingham for £1.
Really?
That's who we're dealing with. Then they sold Birmingham, bought us when we were in financial crisis. And yes, they have made us stable. They've put us into a new stadium, which a lot of people moan about. But actually, we're saving money on...
It's a really good deal.
A fantastic deal business-wise. People go, well, it's not fit for purpose. Well, okay, it might not be, but actually we're saving lots of money. We're getting double the amount of fans every week.
Yep.
And
that's what I was just about to say.
What's not better about it? Okay, yeah, you're not as close to the pitch. I think we'll eventually be put in a position where they go, we've made a mistake with this, you need to buy it, because otherwise it's not financially liable for the London Legacy Committee or whatever it is. But, you know, you're like, West Ham fans are very fickle and very negative. Mikel Antonio 4 weeks ago should have been sold. He's had 4 weeks of games where he's put in a decent performance like he does and now he's the best thing since sliced bread. If he picks up an injury again or he has a bad game, everyone will want him out. So it's hard. I think I am grateful for David Gold, David Sullivan, Karen Brady, what they've done, because you think we was in financial crisis when they took over. And if they hadn't done, or we'd got a group of people who maybe didn't want to put in any investment at all, then we would have been in the places like Sunderland were, like Aston Villa were for a while, like Leeds have been now for years, and we would have just been that Championship team or worse.
Yeah.
But there's a limit. I think they've taken us as far as they can take us, and without putting a significant investment more into it, that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like significantly putting more in, then I don't think they can take us any further.
Someone new to come in.
But they have invested this year, but with the wrong person. You know, they had a guy in there who rode the season of hard work that David Moyes had put in and instilled, and then this season it's gone back to, we don't have to put any effort in training. We don't have to we still play, we still get paid. Oh, we're not putting any effort in. So
it's that thing at West Ham though, and sorry to
go
interrupt
for it.
The last 10 strikers have just not performed. Is that just an ongoing thing that you buying these players that you want to perform?
And
he's just wasted money.
There's some, I don't know exactly how it works, because I've been told that the owners buy players and go, we want you to play this player, which doesn't necessarily work, because does the player fit in the system? Does the manager like the player? Does the manager like the work ethic? Not necessarily. You've got the other hand where they say, we have got 10 million quid, which is what they did to David Moyes. You've got 10 million quid to spend, and he was like, I need a striker. He went and bought Jordan Hugel for 9 million quid, which at the time was actually a decent transfer sum, because that was the season where everything was going silly with transfers. You're in January, so you've got to pay a premium anyway, and it didn't work out. And the next managers have just shipped him out. So he's a bit of sort of, you've got to give investment to the right manager at the right time, and not just go, oh well, you bought the plan one, it didn't work out for 9 million quid. They didn't have much else option, you know. Without, in January, you go to buy a striker who's probably usually worth 5 million, he's going to cost you 20, because teams don't want to get rid of him in January. Sorry, pardon me. But,
unless you're buying poor.
But we bought in Haller for a club record signing, 45 million plus add-ons. Fair enough. They've made a substantial investment there, but then the manager who's bought him, I don't know if the manager bought him or whether the club or the owners bought him.
Yeah.
He didn't fit the system. One of the managers, Kovac, who he played under at Frankfurt, is on a free. He didn't get looking, and a lot of West Ham fans were liking that, because he got goals, he got assists under him. He knows how to get the best out of that player, but he don't get looking. So it just, I don't know. I think they've got their pocket comes first before the club, which I understand, but at a certain point, as a West Ham fan, as they keep claiming to be, you've got to go, I can't take it any further.
Yeah,
I need someone else that's got.
For the better of the club, you need to.
But especially because they keep claiming to be fans, you've got to be able to. I mean, at the end of the day, if you had the money, I think all of us would go, I'll buy our club, because that's what you do. But then you get to a point where you go, I'm either going to pump everything I've got into this, and it's going to work, and I'll probably lose money, or I take a step away and say someone else with a bigger bank account needs to take it on. But what do I know? I'm just a West Ham fan.
You're just a lonely West Ham fan.
I was just going to say, and I think it's going to be very difficult for clubs in those sorts of positions, that if the owners do want to kind of up ships and sell their assets that they've got within the club, they kind of need to be doing better in order to get the higher price tag.
Yeah. They've since they've been involved, they've invested. My figures might be slightly off here, but from what I was reading the other day, £30 million in our training facilities. Which is a lot of money when you think about it. When you look at our training facilities compared to other clubs, they look like they're from the 70s.
Oh wow!
So I don't know what they must have been in a really poor state beforehand, because if they've spent 30 million quid on it and they're still shit, then
what they spend the money on.
Yeah, but you're not going to attract the big players, because once they've been to Manchester City's training ground, Arsenal's training ground, Liverpool's training ground, Real Madrid's training ground, they're all state of the art, and they go, right, we can go to West Ham, and you turn up on loan, and you ring up your agent and go, oh, I don't want to stay here, it's a muddy field. It's a muddy field they've got houses back
Rusty
into it.
weights.
But that's what it is, and it's like, you're not going to do that, are you? You see, you're not going to get decent players on loan, or even coming for a trial or a medical. They go into the training ground and go, nah, not for me. But I think that's the level we're at. So they have invested, there's no doubt about that, but they haven't invested enough or in the right places, or they've been done over by contractors that are going, it's a football club, we'll charge you 4 times as much. But I think that if David Moyes will get us to finish I think we'll finish a decent 12th this year.
Mate, that's our spot.
Yeah, it's not for long, mate. That's ours. We'll fight you for it.
Chase is on.
But I don't think we're going to worry about relegation for too much longer.
That's good.
But I don't feel like they're going to give him enough investment or enough time to actually instill his own philosophy. 18 months, he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look what he did at Everton. He ran it on a budget, so yes, he's used to that. And he was finishing top 6 year after year after year, to the point where Alex Ferguson personally went, that's the manager for us.
Yeah.
Turns out he's not as good as Alex Ferguson, which I think we all know. I mean,
it's hard done by United, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it all changed, didn't it, when Ferguson left? The structure of the backroom staff and everything changed. So I think he got a hard bargain now. But he obviously impressed the right people. He's obviously good at his job.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. So I think he will. I think he will. Plus, there is a rumour. Marko Arnautovic may be coming back to West Ham.
Wow.
Is this because of the wage cap?
China have capped wages at £49,000 a week for foreign players.
Wow.
So the likes of Hulk, Oscar, Marquisio, there's a couple of others out there, Arnautovic, who were on 100,000. Well, he was on more than that, wasn't he? Because that's what we gave him at West Ham. So he's on £200,000 a week, 400, whatever it may be, and now £49,000 a week. So I think there will be a mass exodus of players, and there's some decent players in China, but they will not be able to get the wages they thought they were going to get because they've been playing in a rubbish league. But if he's on 50k a week there now, and we go, well, we give you 70.
Money by the pound.
I think he'd come back. I don't know if he'd be well received. He wouldn't be until he scored a goal. But you think if you have Haller and Arnautovic up top, and they both start running around, and you got then you got Antonio just with that free reign sort of. You just go, mum, mate. Do what you like. Be free.
Fly like an eagle.
Can you imagine? It'd be brilliant.
Good. Now, who wants to know about the best game on Boxing Day?
I don't. That was it. It was West Ham Crystal Palace. I went on a bit of a tangent there. Sorry, lads.
I'll make a quick note about Liverpool, Leicester. This is
you did better than us against Leicester.
Yeah,
not us.
Job done.
To be fair, I was hoping it was going to be a draw. I think Leicester have been playing so well of late, and then they just didn't turn up. And unfortunately for Leicester, Trent Alexander-Arnold did turn up and just bossed the game for them. Absolutely destroyed them. Leicester had no shots on target for the entire game.
Oh, good. That's taken
it
away
could
out
be
of it
because Vardy's wife was about to pop.
She popped.
Yeah, but at the time she was about.
What do you mean
pop.
What do you mean she popped? What another? Oh, I thought she was like letting more secrets out.
That was like Christmas Day. It was
Boxing
just after. Because the next game at the weekend he wasn't there for because she'd given birth.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse, is it? Antonio bloody crashed his Lamborghini into someone's front garden dressed as a snowman, and he still pulled out a performance. You know, come on. As ultimate banter. Next day he's playing, and he was the best player on the pitch.
That's insane. Maybe you should do that every week.
No, well, maybe not. It might cost him a fair bit.
But no, incredible game. so happy that we just totally destroyed Leicester. I think some of the goals were incredible. Firmino got a brace, and Trent topped off his world-class performance with a goal at the end, which was very well struck. Nice little shot straight into the bottom corner.
Mm-hmm.
Destroys most teams, but I'll leave it at that because there are plenty more games to go on to.
Do you think he'll ever get pushed into midfield?
Not at the moment. Not the way that we're playing with Salah in front of him. Not until he goes.
I can see him filling that with the range of passing he's got. That sort of Pirlo role, sort of just sitting a little bit deeper because he's a good defender, and just pinging passes wherever he likes.
Yeah, he can ping them anywhere, can't he? He sprays them.
I can see that maybe later on in his career as his legs start to go.
Yeah,
he's still only 19.
He's 21.
He's 21. He's almost as young as Jesse Lingard. That's a player with potential right there.
We're in a time warp. Jesse. Right, let's go on to weekend games. So, we had on Saturday, West Ham Leicester. You've already spoken about.
Yeah, don't need to do any more about that.
Lightly. Did you want to go into any more detail, Ian?
We sacked our manager. That was the best point of the game.
And then on Sunday,
Fornals scored his first goal, so I'm pleased about that.
Did it interest you that the fact that Moyes was announced so quickly afterwards? Or was it a case of they were already talking to him, lining him up, and just waiting for the right time?
No, because the right time would have been 3 weeks ago. So I think he says he wasn't contacted before that happened. I think they panicked a little bit because the fans that were protesting outside, and if they hadn't done it, I would have hated to have thought what would happen. I think there would have been a mini riot, but I don't think they planned it to go like that. And I think he picked up the phone. Because you would have thought Pochettino would have given him a call, wouldn't you, at least, and gone, any interest?
Maybe he's going to have his number.
United, mate.
Yeah, no, it is, but he's on a free. Would you not ring him up and go, what are you doing for the next 6 months?
No,
we'll give you 150,000 a week, which is less than what Pellegrini was on, to come and manage us for 6 months. I reckon you go, yes, please.
I think he wants a holiday. He's back in Argentina right now. On holiday.
Do you know who I was hoping they was going to announce? And this sounds a bit sad. Big Sam. Fucking love that guy.
That's what you need in a relegation battle, isn't it?
Oh, we certainly would not have ever gone down, and
but
probably would have had our best finish in about 15 years. But
that's just like a short-term appointment.
No, in fact, I'd like to see David Moyes. It sounds sad. I'd like to see him there for the next 5 years. See what he does.
Yeah, that's he must be on a fair old chunk of money over these next 18 months because obviously with what happened to him last time, I know I can imagine it's very much I want to get back into management, but he must have a fair old
clauses.
Yeah.
He was saying about there's a clause for termination, or it's either termination or extension, and he said there's no way it's ever going to get terminated. He said we're going to exceed that expectation phenomenally. So positive
confidence.
You've got, I think, as a fan base, you've got to get behind him. That's who the manager or the owners have brought in. You've got to get behind him. You've got to support the team, and you've got to push on. You might not like it. You might not like it, but he's going to play better football than Pellegrini did. He's going to demand more from the players, and we're going to get an 8 out of 10 for effort every game. So if you can't do any more than that, then you might not win. We're not going to win every game. West Ham fans who go, "Oh, we should be in the Champions League." No, we shouldn't. Come on.
So next week we're going to see them win.
No, I don't think. I think it's too soon. Couple of weeks.
Good. So Sunday, yesterday, a couple of good games. There was a big game of the weekend, which was Arsenal-Chelsea, another London derby, and then Liverpool-Wolves later in the afternoon. We don't need to worry about that right now. Mike, I hear your grievance of this game. At home to Chelsea, took the lead, and then the world went dark.
Well, I wouldn't say it was that dramatic, but yeah. Arsenal versus Chelsea, London derby. As I mentioned in the predictions show, there was more resting on this game than just the London derby. There was the battle of me versus Khan. Unfortunately, Khan was victorious this week.
Oh, is he here this week? Oh no, he's not. No, sorry, he's double booked again.
He texted me saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I can't make it."
I bet it was last minute as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So it was another strong lineup that we had. Obviously, we spoke about the omission of Xhaka earlier in view of the recent transfer speculation. Pepe on the bench again, but we had Reece Nelson on the wing. I think because Martinelli's injured at the moment, and he did really well against in the game against Brighton. Brighton, Bournemouth, for God's sake! It's my Watford Wolves situation going on all over again. Yeah. So in the first half, I've got to say, what a transformation! But it was like watching Arsenal about 5-6 years ago. It was absolutely phenomenal. We were pressing the ball. We were putting in solid challenges. We were absolutely dominating the game. I think we weren't clinical enough in our chances. There was a couple of chances that had the decision making been a little bit better, we could have gone on to make something more of the game. However, we got an injury to Callum Chambers in the first half, shortly after we scored our first goal, which saw us bring Mustafi on. Now, Mustafi hasn't been having a lot of game time, and I've got to admit, I do feel a little bit sorry for the guy, because at one point when him and Koscielny were playing, shortly after Mertesacker retired, I thought it was brilliant. He got injured, and then has been a bit hit and miss. Just recently, I think in the Europa League, where we've seen him feature, I think he's been a lot stronger, and obviously we have got key players that are currently injured or returning from injury. So he seems to be the most logical choice to put into the team. In the second half, Chelsea did grow into the game a little bit more. They started dominating the ball a bit more, had more chances. However, I've got to say, David Luiz had a phenomenal game yesterday. He was really, really solid. Him and Aubameyang, my players of the match, or man of the match. Aubameyang, his work rate was unquestionable. In fact, everyone's work rate was unquestionable. But I think where they've got away with it for the last 6 months, not really having to work 80 minutes, they started getting a little bit leggy, made a few substitutions, which I think was a little bit wrong in my personal opinion. I think Mesut Ozil yesterday, another standout player. I do understand that he's been suffering with fitness issues over the last couple of weeks. However, for the times that he's come off, we've then seemed to lack creativity. Mm-hmm. Jorginho, I've got to say, is the talking point for the game, because that son of a biatch should have been sent off.
That was an interesting call, wasn't it?
I couldn't believe it, because I mean there were Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Matteo Guendouzi, I think, both got booked for similar challenges. Yeah. For the whole dragging back thing. Yeah. Jorginho was on a second. Had already been booked and effectively rugby tackled. Yeah. Guendouzi. Lacazette come up saying, "What the hell's going on?" He was pulling his shirt. He's pulling his shirt.
And got booked.
And he got booked for that.
Do you think if he'd kept his head, he would have sent Jorginho off?
No.
You don't?
No.
Surely VAR should have stepped in at that point and said, it's a yellow card.
No. I don't think they would have.
But they should have done, because that was a clear and obvious error.
Yeah, they should have.
I think it was the right decision to book Lacazette, but I do agree Jorginho should have been sent off.
But then this little son of a bitch pops up. So Ainsley, as I said, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, similar challenge that Jorginho had, pulled, I can't remember who it was, down on the left-hand side. They get a resulting free kick, swing it over, and yes, Sophie Van.
Flappy Goalkeeper of the Week award.
Yes. Flappy goalkeeper, Leno.
Yeah, completely missed the ball, and Jorginho was at the back post. One of the easiest tap-ins I've ever seen.
Did he even get a touch on it? I thought it went in straight from the free kick.
No, it kind of landed on his legs and rolled in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you what, my heart sunk at that point because up until that point, I thought we were phenomenal.
You were dominating.
But I think, to be honest, when that goal went in, the wind went out of our sails. We were then trying to chase the game to actually get the 3 points at home. And we got caught on a counter-attack, 2 men at the back, 2v3. And, Tammy got the goal.
I did think that was a good goal, though, from Tammy Abraham. Great composure, great hold-up play. But, yeah, I do think it would have been slightly different had Jorginho been sent off. There wouldn't have been as many men to... Because towards the end, Chelsea were just throwing people at you, weren't they? And going forward,
as I said, with the way it's like I said, the players have got away with it over the last 6 months, where they haven't had to put in as much effort. Arteta's kind of demanding it, and I think the players were just absolutely knackered. The only thing I'm a little bit
season, aren't they? Sort of that's the sort of thing you would see in this first few games of the season. Now that you've got them working again, they're
to be honest, mate, I think I would even go to probably midpoint last year was the last time that we saw that.
Yeah.
The one other thing that is concerning me is obviously the amount of frustration or disappointment after that game, because they absolutely worked their socks off, and it was so refreshing to see. And again, just from watching other Arsenal podcasts, the general consensus is that they're not unhappy with the performance of the players. They're disappointed with the result, but the more to the point, they're disappointed with the referee that didn't have the cojones to send off.
But that's what I've been banging on about for weeks, though. You can lose it week in, week out, but if your players put in the effort, you're happy with it. You might not.
Yes.
You're not always going to get the result,
fans
but
will be behind you.
Yeah, and you could definitely sense that within the ground as well. Just everyone was so behind the team. It was so refreshing to see people playing with passion, wearing the shirt, making it look as if they wanted to wear the shirt.
Yeah.
They were proud to put on that shirt and get out on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I am just a little bit worried how that might affect us going into the game against United this week. But
I think it'll put a little bit of fire in their bellies to make sure you get ahead.
I hope so.
I still think there might be a couple of defensive blunders in there.
Yeah,
because you got some quick players that you're playing against.
Yeah.
If you had Bellerin and Tierney fit, I'd say you'd probably eke it out. But say with a draw, that makes your defence a little bit, isn't it?
Bellerin's apparently back. He was being assessed ahead of the game against Chelsea.
Right. But he's not match fit though, is he?
No.
He's not match sharp.
No.
And you got Martial. Yeah, so Martial seems to be on fire, and Rashford is very quick. Daniel James likes a dive.
Yeah.
And
it's quick. Very quick forward going.
But, to be fair, I mean, one of the players that I think is going to be key for us for this game would be Socrates.
Okay.
Because the last time that we played United, he was brilliant.
Yep.
Him and David Luiz, I think, done really well in that game. Obviously he picked up an injury against Brighton, I think it was. I think he picked up a concussion. So he was under concussion protocol. I don't know whether he'll be able to come back for this particular game, but we do have the likes of Rob Holding. Apparently he's back
good
as well. So,
I like him.
And I can't remember who the other was. Pepe as well. I want to see Pepe starting this weekend on New Year's Day.
Do you see?
Then you've got that trouble, haven't you? You've got that whole lineup of Ozil, Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. How do you get all four of them on the pitch to play together?
Well, you put Aubameyang on the left, Pepe on the right, Aubameyang up top, and Ozil playing just behind him.
It's not necessarily getting them on the pitch; it's getting them to get that chemistry where they know what the other players are going to do around them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once that sinks in, if he can get that ticking, that's a dangerous front four there, I think.
I just we've started to see under Arteta, Lacazette and Aubameyang and Ozil being played, and it seems to be gelling really well. As I said, Ozil for me one of the standout players for us over the last couple of games. Aubameyang definitely, not just because of the goals, but because of the way he was up and down that pitch like an absolute trooper. Yeah, just come on, Arsenal!
It's good to see you happy again. Good to see you happy.
Yeah.
The other Sunday game, Wolves taking on Liverpool.
Wolves
I know
were
you're
cheated.
a big fan of VAR. VAR played it heavy in this game.
It played
Totally
heavy out
heavy.
over the Christmas period. It was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think this weekend was quite a few
Yeah, there's at least 4 from
big
what
calls.
I recall.
Which is a shame, but again, the train keeps on rolling. We won. We got 3 points. Yeah, we didn't play all that great, but are you surprising after the amount of games we've had in the last few weeks?
I did
Not
like
really.
I did like Adam Lallana's goal though, or not his goal, his assist from
His
Mane's
assist
goal.
on his shoulder.
But it was just commitment, wasn't it? He threw
Yeah.
himself at that while
He was
being
gonna beat
taken.
that defender.
While being taken down, it was great. I love that. Will admit, hate
Just
to
to
see
get that ball
hate
over.
to see you win because Neto's goal should have stood, but
Being a fraction offside,
from
we
but
benefit from it.
But I mean, you may have watched it again. I see it live. The guy who was ruled off as offside wasn't involved in the play, was he? He was just in an offside position.
There's a couple of them.
So surely,
They were
but
just
sure,
coming
but
back.
the one that they showed surely wasn't offside if he didn't interfere with play. I'm not an expert, but I thought you had to be like, if the ball was being passed to you, or took a touch of it, or you jumped over the ball, but because he wasn't, is that
Depends
offside?
on how much they interfere with the actual end result.
I don't think he did. With his fat foot over the line.
Controversy.
Get rid
It's
of
a
it.
tough game. Wolves are in really good form at the moment. After beating City, coming back, Traore is just a beast of a player. I don't understand why they didn't start with him. It would have been a different game if they had.
I think it's the pace, isn't it? Where players are getting tired and then going, oh shit, I've got to run even more now. He's a
such
monster,
strong
isn't he?
player.
He absolutely tore us to do one as well.
He's a monster.
It's just I think we got lucky.
Do you think somewhat like one of the big teams are going to try and poach him?
Yes.
I think there's going to be several players going to be trying to be poached from Wolves.
Ruben Neves being one.
Yeah, I think some of the defenders have been really well.
Will-
Cody's come a lot.
Will Bolly at Arsenal, I reckon. Willie Bolly.
To be honest, mate, I'll take anyone. I'll take anyone at the moment.
But he's solid and he can play on the ball. But yeah, Connor Cody with those forward balls, very much like Van Dijk does.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, just puts in a long ball and it's always on target. So
Opened up defences.
definitely.
Good.
So
Any other topics from the weekend you want to touch on there?
VAR.
Go on. We haven't done it in a while. How long we got? All night?
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to bloody rock and roll. I've got to say, we haven't bashed on this drum for a long time. But how the hell, the Norwich game, how the hell was that offside?
Vicky's goal.
There was four of them. There was four of them over the weekend.
It's a joke. Absolutely joke.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because my understanding and from the statements that the FA have made and all the people have made that have anything to do with VAR is it's clear and obvious. Now I get they check it for offside, but if you're having to go down to a pixelated frame by frame image to put a line on and it go, oh, it's 0.3 mil over, that's not clear and obvious, is it?
No.
So
And
you're
I
either
was reading
onside or
today-
you're offside, and it's clear and obvious. If your whole chest is over, yes, fine, no problem.
Photo courtesy of Sky Sports, but oh my god,
That's like millimetres.
is ridiculous.
But the thing I was
But
reading
that's
today,
not
the
offside.
frame
That's in
rates-
line.
that the frame rates that the cameras work on
25.
can't keep up.
Yeah, they're 25 frames. They should be filming at 60 frames a second.
Between one frame and the next frame, the ball can move inches.
But there's no. When you look at it, there's no reference to when the ball's been kicked and where it's left the player's foot, where it's not. They don't look at that. They just look at, okay, are you in offside position? Well, is that at the correct stage of that play? Mm. And an armpit's offside, and then it's not offside. And my understanding is you can score with this part of your body, so it's not offside.
Should be at least your feet where your feet are, because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing.
Maradona. What would happen if he's playing? Because he scored with his hand. Does that count as offside?
That wouldn't be offside anyway. That'd be VAR saying handball, get off.
No, that was an international match, no doubt. The officials have missed that one, and
now I shared.
They would have all turned around at the right time.
I shared a video of the Australian football, the A League, using VAR, where you can hear the communication between the referee and the VAR room, and he's asking, "What am I looking at?" I recommend going and look at the screen, have a look, because I think it's a red card challenge. Your call. Yep. Am I on screen? Yes, you are. Okay, give a signal. He's had a look. He's still on the screen the whole time. Double checking. Am I on screen again? Yeah, it's a red card for that bloke. Bang, red card. Everyone knows what's going on. Everyone's happy.
Did you hear him say it though? Did you hear him what he goes? He goes, "Yeah, I've seen enough."
Yeah,
that was it. The first because there was 2 nutty boy challenges, wasn't they?
Yeah.
One going over the ball, and then one coming.
Yeah.
Absolutely through that guy's legs.
Yeah.
And it was like, just after the first one, he was like, "No, I've seen enough."
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, but I think that's how it should be run. But they've said, haven't they? They don't want them to go and look at the pitch side monitors.
Well, why are they there?
I thought they were supposed to be readdressing this.
They were, but they said they discouraged it because they feel it slows down the game. I think it'd speed up the game.
It's already slowed down the game so much anyway. Waiting 2 or 3 minutes sometimes for them to review it 3 or 4 times. It's a joke.
How quick was that decision made that we saw?
What, it's a 40-second video from tackle going into decision being made.
Yeah, it's quick.
And it is a case of they could have reviewed it there and gone, yeah, we'll watch that. Yeah, it's a red card. But instead they gone, the official that's on the pitch who's got the feel of the game, the players can gauge it, can go, was it a mistake? Was it a sloppy challenge? Or is it red? No, it was. He looked at it, he went, no, it's a red, bang. And if it had been, was it maybe from a room where you're not actually watching the whole game, you're just checking decisions, you can't get the feeling of the game, can you?
Well, I was listening to Talksport earlier, and they were saying that if you can't make your decision within 2 replays of the initial incident,
it's not clear and obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mate, you're right. You're right.
And it's going to ruin the games. Like Mane, he couldn't celebrate for a good minute and a half while they made it. And is that going to be a thing going forward?
I make you right.
Goals.
I
They're
think
going to go turn to the ref. Is that correct? Is that not? And then about a minute later, go yeah.
It's been built. The Premier League and football has been built on entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
You lose the entertainment value, you lose the fans. You lose the fans, you lose the sponsorship. You know, because you're not going to pay what's Man United's new kit deal, like $170 million a year or something ridiculous.
Right.
You're not going to, but the big companies are not going to pay that if it's not entertaining. People are not watching.
Well, this is also what they were saying. Pretty much that exact point is that you are going to end up losing, or the fans are going to end up being turned away from actually physically going to the games. They'll switch the TVs off because they're just like, oh, what's the point? It's slowing the game down. It's not as entertaining anymore as what it once was. No. I mean, I'm still an advocate for VAR, but I just think they need to rethink the whole process because it's not working.
And if they're taking so long, instead of going, oh, there's now 12 minutes added time, why are we not stopping the clock? If we could. It's a 90-minute game. Then
other sports do. Rugby do it really well.
Yep.
You can hear definitely on the TVs what the refs talking about with the commentary, and with the third referee as well, the video referee, and they do stop the clock straight away. They even rewind the clock and put time back on because of it. NFL do something very similar. But
that's what I think they should do.
They check every single play to make sure there is no reason not to give it.
Yeah.
cricket's the same. I know it's not exactly the same kind of time frames, but having to go upstairs to the third umpire for review decisions and stuff, just everything works apart from one of the biggest sports in the country and in the world. Yeah,
it's just the communication. They need to really just up the game, make
I think they need to stick. Aware. They need to stick to their method statement of clear and obvious. I do think it's right. If you look at it from a side angle and a front on angle, which is the videos that generally they've got, isn't it? If as you said, if you can't judge it with that two, it's not clear and obvious. Go with whatever the ref said.
Yep.
No, and who was it that scored? That then they reviewed. It was the Liverpool one, wasn't it? And they were saying if the referee had blown half a second earlier, the ball wouldn't have been in the net. Therefore, it wouldn't have been a goal anyway because he's called for a review.
Yeah.
And that would have been a travesty.
And that was the similar situation with the Aubameyang goal against, I think it was against United, when he got flagged for offside.
Oh, well, that one where he was about 15 yards onside.
yeah. Had the linesman put his flag up, they wouldn't have been able to review that on VAR.
Yeah. Which is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or had the referee blown?
That's it. Yeah.
For the flag, yeah. Because that was the one that was right in front of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally.
And he's like, mate, literally, he's 2 foot away from you to the left, and the defender's 2 foot away from you to the right. What are you talking about?
Good decision from the ref to override.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's VAR. Yeah.
That's
but we've still got another. We've got 5 months of it.
Yeah, but
another 18 games, and the FA Cup starts fairly shortly, I think.
Is it 18 games, Mike?
Yeah,
or is it 17.
But what you've got to think about, Mike, is the FA Cup does start, but West Ham will probably go out to Gillingham in the 3rd round. So
it won't be any. But the FA Cup doesn't have VAR.
It does. No, it doesn't. I don't think Gillingham will need it. I think that's the game where we might start to see a little bit of a turnaround, because that's in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. I think we've got Leeds in 2 Mondays' time, which I'm not looking forward to in the slightest. I think that's going to be a bloody hard game.
We've got another Merseyside derby.
Monday the 6th, so it's next Monday.
I think you could go out the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think we could as well.
No, I'm talking about Liverpool.
Oh no, I'm thinking us.
Everton are hard to play at the moment.
And they've got Ancelotti.
Yeah, they've turned it around quite.
Yeah, Everton going forward have got a scary lineup. Just need to be a bit more solid defensively. A bit like everyone, really. Everyone seems to have concentrated on going forward and not really defending.
Mm.
If Tottenham buy Issa Diop for 50 million.
Do you know what's really scary at the moment? I don't know if you guys have picked this up, but the actual Premier League table. If you have a look at the league table,
right,
the goal difference is stupid. So Liverpool goal difference 33, Leicester 24, Man City 31. Then you come to 4th, Chelsea 7.
Yeah, we're on -2, I think.
And Man United 9.
Yeah, everyone from 9th down is on minus goal difference.
It's a joke. It's literally the goals aren't being scored.
And I'm going to blame previous management for that again, playing people out of position, being absolutely toothless and spineless for large parts of this season. But I'm telling you,
do you know what wound me up about our Leicester lineup? Just a quick one. Is I get over the Christmas period, you play more games, so players are going to be tired. Why on earth would you ever start with Carlos Sanchez in the middle of the park? I would rather go, we're going to play this one with 10 men. I reckon you'd have a better result.
I remember listening to that game on the radio, and they were basically, I can't remember who was commentating on it, but they were just like, you can just tell every time he gets the ball that West Ham fans are just like,
he does one of two things. He passes it to a opposition player that's on the attack. He just goes and falls over, or he does nothing and gets tackled and just stands and goes, oh, and then we can see him go. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, but yeah, Pellegrini was adamant about bringing him on. That should be David Moyes' first thing. a dog. If a dog's poorly or a horse broken its leg, you put it down. Just go in. He was training today, and he looked like he was looking for him. Just go, right, you.
Where's your contract? Rip it up.
No, not
Rip
contract.
it up.
Just shoot him. Put him out of his misery.
Put him on the floor.
Yeah,
can't do
that's
that.
it.
We don't contain that. It's murder.
Yeah, no, I don't. But should.
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah, but the first job should be get him out. Terminate his contract if you have to. He shouldn't be anywhere near a football team.
That's the point, actually. We've only got, 2 days to the transfer window opens?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That will be the interesting thing to see how or if they back David Moyes.
And we've already made a signing.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, you ain't.
Well, no, you haven't. You've gone round the rules and should be banned. Yeah. You're making transfers outside the window. You've already announced it.
Yeah.
If he plays like he's been playing, that would be a cracking signing.
Wait,
Is it
what's the
Mina?
name, Phil?
Oh, Mina. Mina.
Yeah.
That's it. What's the other one?
Yeah, fair enough. So go
Yes.
on, right. One player.
We've gone round the rules.
One
but
player you want your
he's still not
club
up
to
there.
sign in January.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah, all right, fair enough. I don't think you were realistically, Mike. Who do you think you could go for?
I don't know, but I want a decent centre back.
Fair enough. Phil,
Sancho.
Jadon Sancho.
Won't get him.
I think he'll end up at Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah, his mates play there. Who he grew up with, didn't they? I'm gonna say for West Ham, I'm gonna say Jared Bowen from Hull, the left midfielder. I don't think like we've been linked with him. I don't think he's going to cost the world. He's like 21, pinging a ball. Reminds me a little bit of Matt Jarvis.
Yeah, have you heard that guy that plays for Juventus?
Which one?
Yeah, so there's a few of them.
Aaron Ramsey. I've heard he's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, what, on £400,000 a week? Yeah, I don't think so, mate.
I don't think he's coming back.
He ain't going anywhere, ever. No, in fairness, I think
I'm just missing, that's all.
I'm just missing. You can have Jack Wheelchair back.
Contract, then.
Oh, Jack Glasshangel's wheelchair. No thanks.
Apparently, he's going to be shipped off to the MLS.
Good.
He's-
I think
he's
they're
on the
doing.
bench there.
No, I think they're doing some good because I think the
The warm weather will help.
warm weather and also the pace of the game, I think, is a little bit slower.
He's
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
I
I think he's a quality player. He's just been.
His body's not
Yeah.
up for it.
I was just about to say that. I think he's an amazing player, and I absolutely loved him when he was at Arsenal. But I don't think he's cut out for, or I don't think his body's cut out for the Premier League.
No, he's got so he's got the talent, but he just can't keep up with it. That's fair enough.
I
Yeah.
sympathise with his last ankles as well.
Yeah. Well, I've
Feel
got
nice.
nothing. I've got nothing else to add. So that's me
Yeah,
done.
I'm done. Mr. Bannerman.
Awesome. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you want to subscribe, please like and share with your friends and your family. The more viewers, the better. So if you've got any comments, please
Podcast friend.
below.
Yeah, share them out. Twitter handles are above or below us. I
Yes.
think they're above us.
We will have some new layouts come the new year.
Yeah.
So keep an
awesome.
eye out for that.
Check out our other videos as well. The Fat Men Can Run challenge.
Yeah. Not so fat men anymore though.
Or they won't.
Maybe.
They-
We'll
we won't
see.
be like we've been doing a thing for a day at this point. So not yet,
like
but we will
stick
do by the time
already?
this goes out. You know.
I'm
I
gonna
would
do
have
that.
lost £4 by then. £4, 4 stone.
That's all you're going to lose, mate, because I'm going to win this.
Beast
Out
mode.
come the guns. I'm going to win it. Telling you. Well, whatever happens, I ain't losing that challenge.
No, Phil's
Don't
losing
care
that
if I come
challenge.
second.
Just
I'm not losing that
Yeah,
challenge.
so it don't matter if you don't win, you just don't lose. That's all that matters.
I'm going to get ill and then.
Just
that way. I'm not gonna
shit.
eat for
He's
4
just
days.
gonna shit out all the weight.
Hey, that's my plan.
Yeah, fair play.
Anyway, I want to wish everyone a happy new year.
Yeah, happy New
Yeah,
Year.
it's first day of
Keep
2020.
safe, keep well. And keep listening into 2020. We'll have lots more for you.
Cool. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. Share it everywhere. Check out one of our other videos, it'll be somewhere around here. Cool.